Hello, all you beautiful people out there. I'm Tom.
And I'm Savannah, and come wake up with us this morning as we serve you the morning tea. If you're joining us for the first time, the Morning Tea is a student-run show that takes an entertaining, modern, and real-world look at the world through the eyes of students like you.
So, if you haven't yet, make sure you follow us on our social media at The Morning Tea AU on Instagram and Facebook as well. And don't forget to check out the Upstart Magazine website and YouTube channel where you can watch all of these shows live and non-live.
Yes.
Afterwards. So, if you're feeling a little ordinary this morning, come wake up with us as we make you feel a little extraordinary. Today's show will cover all the latest news, goss, and,
Yeah, we've got the surf story. We're covering one of Trobe's sports clubs, so some really fun stuff coming
Ultimate
up.
Frisbee, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Crazy.
It's going to be great. But first up, we have our lovely news reporter, Shaz, here to give us the news.
Take it away,
Thank you, Savannah. And starting off with the weather, as usual, the weather forecast for today will be partly cloudy with a very high chance of showers in the morning and thunderstorm in the afternoon and evening. The minimum temperature today will be 16 degrees with a maximum of 21. In the lead up to the federal elections this month, Prime Minister Scott Morrison and Labor leader, Bill Shorten had their first debate on Monday night. It appeared the 25 audience members declared the Labor Party as the leader as the winner of the debate, with only 12 votes being ascribed to Mr. Morrison. This was the first time the two leaders contended during the campaign, with a similar style debate set to take place this Friday night. In light of the increased death tolls at music festivals, a pill testing trial piloted at a music festival over the weekend for the second time was praised as being an overwhelming success, according to two pill testing advocacy bodies. 7 dangerous substances were identified as at the festival in Canberra, where the ACT is the only state in Australia to allow the pill testing trial. Trial organisers claim that there has been a reduction in drug-related harm as a result of festival goers being informed of the possible harm the substance they possess may have. The New South Wales and Victorian government are still opposed to the trial, maintaining that it may encourage users to take drugs, while the Greens believe this is a crucial part of an effective drug policy, according to a report from SBS News. Now, moving on to world news. On 21st April 2019, Easter Sunday, 3 Christian churches in Sri Lanka and 3 luxury hotels in the commercial capital Colombo were targeted in a series of coordinated terrorist suicide bombings. It is estimated that 253 people were killed, of which 42 were foreign nationals, and around 500 were injured. According to the Sri Lankan government, all 7 suicide bombers were citizens of the country and were part of the extremist group National Tawhid Jamaat, which was later claimed by ISIL that they were Islamic State fighters. Curfew has been imposed in the capital indefinitely, and as of late, face veils worn by Muslim women have been banned in the attempt to heighten security in the island. Continuing with the bizarre trend of shootings at places of worship, a man entered a synagogue in San Diego, California on Saturday during the Jewish holiday of Passover, and opened fire at the worshippers, killing 1 person and injuring 3. Laurie Kay, who was at the synagogue to grieve for her recently deceased mother, was shot and killed as she leapt across her rabbi to protect him. The suspected gunman had been identified by police as John Ernest, a 19-year-old nursing student at California State University, San Marcos. Ernest had published an anti-Semitic statement full of racial slurs and conspiracy theories just prior to the shooting, and was deemed to have a stark resemblance to the Christchurch shooter. And that is all for today for the news, guys. Take it away.
That's
Some deep stuff this week.
It is.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I see you're wearing your
is.
Sri Lanka shirt. Are you from Sri Lanka?
I actually am. So I was born in Sri Lanka and spent the most of my younger years in this place called Kandy, which is not the capital. But interestingly, the shooters that we're talking about were actually from Kandy. So there was sort of
from your hometown?
From my hometown,
Wow.
which is a bit, daunting, obviously, because it's, meant to be this big island. And we're coming off a 30-year civil war just only, nearly a decade ago. And, tourism is flourishing at the moment. And just when you thought everything was going well, this disaster took place. And
do you think the tourism is something that is influencing these, events? Like, see sort of what you see in Bali, where you have a lot of terrorism happening because of tourism. You know, is that...
Well, yeah, look, it's an interesting concept. I think it just goes back to, terrorists and this sort of, strange thing of, any crowded places. I mean, people ploughing into crowds, it happened locally as well. And, it just seems to be, this really strange...
Well, we've seen now terror comes anywhere.
Yeah.
It's not... I think it's... Yeah, especially the synagogue now as well. And looking at the terror we've seen over the history and the terror that we've had over the last few months, it's not really... it's just about one group or another.
Exactly right. It's just this thought of and mindset. It's like my opinion over everyone else. That's pretty much what it is. And obviously the people who copy it are, the people of the country. And obviously how can you revoke that? I mean, that kind of disaster cannot be, it's really sad, yeah.
Yeah, you got to remove the power from them. You got to remove the reaction, and you just got to stay strong as a community.
And that's what it is. And the fantastic thing here in Melbourne as well is we've had vigils all over the place. Then even today, the Sri Lankan Association is actually having one out at the Agora. So if you guys are free, please come down and support. There might even be Sri Lankan food there.
Yeah.
Well, definitely. Well, speaking of that, we also have the elections coming up, and just wanted to remind everybody out there to please go out there and vote if you're an Australian citizen.
Yeah, it's like not to be all Walida on you guys, but this is probably one of the most important times for voting in the history of the human race. We're on the edge of something here, and of Australia especially. So, go vote and make it count, because your vote does count.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Well, in lighter news, we have a story coming up for you guys. One of our team members went to Rip Curl this weekend, so we have a little story to show you a bit of that.
It doesn't matter if you're watching it on your phone, on the big screen, or down on the beach. The Rip Curl Pro captivates surfing enthusiasts from all around the world. Born at Bells in 1961, the Bells Beach Pro was created for any willing surfer to face the waves and ring the famous bell. Now, the Rip Curl Pro hosts the world's best surfers for the second leg of the WSL Championship Tour every Easter. This year is extra special as it celebrates 50 years of Rip Curl. In honour of this milestone, Rip Curl has released some epic pieces to their clothing collection, such as vintage leather jackets, a $1,000 special edition watch, and a special clothing line created by famous street artist Mad Steez.
So this year we've had Mad Steez come in to bring out a collection with us. So it's obviously quite vivid, bright, and inspired by his love for bright colours. So that's pretty cool. So we've got a clothing collection in at the moment.
Alongside his vibrant and stylish clothing line, he's created a 10-metre long mural of Rip Curl surfing legends Mick Fanning, Gabe Medina and Tyler Wright. This annual event brings tourism, attractions and Torquay, a small coastal town, to life, bringing familiar and unfamiliar faces together to celebrate all things surfing. The Rip Curl Pro is an event worth going. I'm Bridget McNamara, reporting for The Morning Tea.
Woo! Yeah.
So cool.
That was sick.
Loved that.
Rip it. Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, surfing has been one of my favorite things that I've done here so far. Like,
You have surfed here?
Yeah, I actually have. I went about a month ago. It was like the end of March. It was so much fun. We went on the Great Ocean Road to some different locations there, so it was great. And the weather was perfect. It was like the last really, really warm weekend we've had.
Oh gosh, you're so lucky. I was in Sydney, the same thing. I went to Bondi
Really?
Beach. Huge waves.
Oh, cool.
It's got absolutely just pitted, you know?
Have you ever been surfing?
Yeah, well, I'm from Sunshine Coast, so it's
Nice.
yeah, surfing culture. Yeah, it's fun.
So tell me, are surf accents a thing?
surfer accents.
Yeah.
Oh my, surfer. It's not just surfer accents. It's surfer people. They're like a breed of like creatures. I mean, they're nice, but all they can talk about is surfing. Like, I would not date a surfer guy.
I think if I was that good at surfing, I think that's all I would talk about too.
I don't think they're that good. I just think they're talking about like half of them. I never see them surfing. They're just sitting there with like a cigarette, talking about like how cool surfing is. I don't know.
I can respect it. I think it's pretty cool.
It's cool. Like
I went one time and I was like, I'm a surf girl now. This is me.
You've become a surf girl.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna kick off the show then. You gotta be careful. You know, keep it on the down low. So can you surf in America? Are there many like beaches?
You can. I think the biggest places to surf are probably on the West Coast, probably in California.
Of course,
but
yeah.
you know where I'm from,
You've
we
got
don't
that,
really
like-
get good enough waves. Honestly, I've never even like seen anybody surf before I came here, so that was like totally new experience.
You've never been to like Venice Beach and seen.
I have a Venice Beach T-shirt, but never been.
Never been. I think everyone has a Venice Beach t-shirt.
Right.
Yeah, it's not that great. It's really weird, actually.
Oh, cool.
It's a weird
Thanks.
place. Yeah, no, I mean, be careful. Anyway, yeah. So we should go to the next surfing thing for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I was sad I didn't get to go to that one, but definitely want to go again.
But you know what we did go to?
What did we go to?
Well, you know what we went to.
I know what we went to. We got to go to a Frisbee practice this week, which was super fun because I play at home. So this was really close to home for me. So we're going to show you a little bit about what we learned about Trobe's own Ultimate Frisbee team.
It's fast. It's daring. It's for everyone. This is Ultimate, a sport for the players, by the players. It's played all over the world, including right here at Trobe University.
I played in the Malaysia Ultimate Open last year.
We've gone to like places I've literally never had, like Wannaball.
So Savannah and I headed down to the uni sport fields to train alongside Trobe's very own team. First up, basics.
I'd say throwing is the main one that people feel like they normally would master once they first come, but it does take a little bit of time.
But there's more to it than this, right? How does the pastime of throwing a frisbee translate into an internationally recognised sport?
Basically, the sport is a mix between netball and American football.
2 teams of 7 players take to the field, with the simple goal of catching the disc inside the other team's end zone. If they do this, they score a point, and the first team to score 17 points wins. Once we mastered the art of the throw, we moved on to the horizontal stack drill. Here, we're trying to make the most of the game's major limitation.
Once you have the disc, you can't move with it, but you throw it along the field.
But aside from that, it's a pretty intuitive sport, and this is part of what makes it so appealing.
I think it's just such an easy sport. Like, it's not something that requires like special skills or it's like some sort of like special strength or like fitness level. Like, anyone can literally join. Like, I had like 0 frisbee skill. The only frisbee skill I had was like playing on the beach.
It's quite a welcoming sport. It's very different to a lot of the main sports here. But yeah, we take on all beginners, all age groups.
The non-contact nature means it's also one of the few sports where mixed gender competition takes place. So if you're looking for a new pastime that keeps you fit, improves your coordination, and gives you the chance to travel with your classmates in search of athletic glory, Ultimate might be the sport for you.
Heaps of people that do like 4 or 5 tournaments. We've got people who just don't do tournaments, just come training. How far you want to go, really up to you.
We'll see you on the field.
That was awesome. Well, today here we have our sports representative, Matt Dunlap, and then we also have our guest from the Frisbee team, Matt Collings.
Hello.
Welcome to the Studio of Love. We're glad to have you.
Great to
Thank
have
you.
you guys.
Yeah.
So how long have you been playing Ultimate Frisbee for Trobe?
I've only been playing since the start of last year, so start of 2018, so just over a year and a half for Trobe, and I didn't really play before that.
Cool. So, like, how did you get into it? Like,
It's a very, very, very different sport that you don't see a lot. So when I got into it, it was just through a email that got sent to me at the start of last year.
nice.
I signed up on the O week, and then they said, "I'll come down for training," and I
Yeah.
decided to come along, and it was really, really good.
Yeah, that's
And
one of my favorite parts about the sport, just how open and welcoming it is. Like, even if
Yeah,
you've never done it before,
so-
they're like, come learn.
So true. It's so the spirit of the game is what it's all about.
Yeah. So you were good at it when you started? You know
I was terrible. I couldn't even throw. Every time I threw it, it would just go everywhere.
And
And
they put you on the team, though.
Yeah, well, because they pretty much just like train you, so like they teach you complete basics, and it makes it all so much easier.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you mentioned the spirit of the game just before, and that was a point that I didn't really bring up in the video package that we saw earlier, is that Ultimate Frisbee doesn't have any umpires or referees, does it?
No, so it's all player ref. Everything on the field is organised by the players. If there's a discussion or like a foul that was called or any call that was made, if there's like a contest or something like that, the players will always discuss it with themselves. Now, that means, no one's really sour ever. Everyone's really kind on the field. So it makes, the spirit really nice.
It's a beautiful thing, yeah, because then it means, not only do you have that sort of camaraderie between people of opposing teams, but also it means you can just put a match together like the drop of a hat. All you need is a few cones to mark out your places on the field. You need a frisbee, 14 people on the field, and you're done.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So in those upper level competitions, do you ever sort of so there's no refs? You said there's no one there's no official.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of?
Even the international level, there's no match officials. There are obviously you've got the team the people on the bench, like the other players who are obviously watching and they can help out with discussions. But generally, it's people on the field that come to a agreement on what the call is.
Even on international games.
Even at international level, yes.
If I was an international level, I'd be I'd do my best to make sure.
Yeah, one of the hardest things for me while I was learning, gaining confidence playing the game is learning how to make a call, because as a first year player you're should I call that? It's pretty cool how you kind of call your own fouls and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's as you said, for a first time playing, the confidence to even call out something. But the thing is, everyone's there to have fun as well as be competitive. That's the whole aspect of the game. Everyone, as I said, the spirit of the game is almost everything to frisbee. So therefore, it's all play mediated. You make the call, and people will respect it.
So for anyone looking to join the Latrobe Ultimate team, what sort of events, tournaments, that sort of thing are we looking forward to in the future?
Okay, well, Latrobe Ultimate Frisbee, or Latough, for sure, because we're tough.
I like that. That's cute.
Are you tough?
I try to be.
You try?
We host, we've got a bunch of tournaments, one called the Albert Park League, APL, that's on either Monday or Wednesday nights. We've also got VMAL, which is all around, we go to Warrandyte, go to Wangaratta, travel a fair while for them, but they're really fun. And then for social events, we've got one coming up on the 10th of May, which is our trivia night, hosted by moi.
Fun.
So, yeah.
I freaking love trivia.
So that should be fun. But then we've also got our big uni ones. We've got Uni Nationals, which is, I believe, in late July. And then we've got UMUC, which is the university one that is organised by the students, which is early July as well.
Right. And we can't forget that it is a university team. So do you struggle every year with a third or half of your team just leaving because they've graduated?
Oh, yeah. We every year, if you ever go to the sports carnival, you can see all the clubs are always trying to recruit, because obviously you've got people coming in, leaving, deferring, people travelling. So every year, yes, you do struggle to get numbers, but I think the whole aspect of a uni team is it needs to be social, and that's what we focus on. I'm good. That's why I'm on.
You good?
No, I'm not that good.
I like it. I'm sure you're good.
But yeah, it is a struggle every year to get numbers, but we always do, because people are interested. Just there's people leaving, there's almost more people coming in, so there's always more people to recruit, and we make it fun. We have a social generally at the start, and people love a little bit of a change in the sport. So yeah.
Cool. So if people are looking to join, where can they go to find out more info about Latrobe Ultimate Frisbee?
So we have our Facebook page, just exactly as it says, is Latrobe Ultimate Frisbee Club. We've also got Latough, which you can find. I believe it's a private one, but you can message the Latrobe Ultimate Frisbee Facebook page. Additionally, trainings on a Wednesday, 4:30 to 6:30, and a Friday, same time, 4:30 to 6:30. Anyone's welcome to come down, any skill level, doesn't matter. If you don't know how to throw a frisbee, if you don't know how to run, we'll teach you.
Honestly, really thinking about it,
Know how to run.
I miss playing Frisbee. I didn't get to last semester because I was so busy, but I might do that. So that sounds like a lot of fun. Well, now we actually have Matt to give us everything on sports the whole week, so give it to us straight.
Welcome back to the show. Matt, give us the sport.
Well, it was a massive week of AFL over the weekend because we had the Easter weekend and we got the traditional sort of games that happen all throughout there. And it was a massive bumper week of footy. We had all the way from Wednesday through to Sunday this round, we had games happening. So Richmond are back in the top 8 after a convincing 43-point win over Melbourne last Wednesday. But the same can't be said for Essendon, who narrowly lost a highly contentious Anzac Day clash to the Magpies and now sit down in 10th. The top 8 are now only separated by 4 points and 25.7%. With Brisbane sitting 7th after demolishing the Suns by 49 in the 17th edition of the Q Clash. GWS also won their local derby this week, beating Sydney by 41 points at the SCG on Sunday. And Carlton came close to an upset over Hawthorn, while reigning premiers, West Coast, were completely outclassed by the Cats. In the NRL now, and the Roosters extended their win streak to 6 and currently lead the standings. Melbourne Storm and South Sydney Rabbitohs both scored close victories this week, putting them in 2nd and 3rd with 6 wins apiece. The biggest win of the round, though, came to the Broncos, who overcame Cronulla by 23 points at Suncorp on Saturday. They'll kick off round 8 against the Rabbitohs tomorrow night at ANZ Stadium. To soccer now, and the A-League season has gone out with a bang thanks to some high-scoring matches in the last round. While Perth Glory and Sydney FC already secured free rides to the semi-finals, the stage is set for the elimination finals, which will get underway this weekend. It's do or die for both Melbourne clubs, Adelaide United and Wellington Phoenix. Victory hosts the Knicks at Amy Park on Friday before City challenge Adelaide on Sunday. Go get your tickets for those ones. They're going to be absolute thrillers. In Europe, Tottenham's Champions League campaign is on the back foot already after a loss to Ajax at home this morning. The next match that we'll see will be Barcelona hosting Liverpool, who are looking to make it to the final for the second time in 2 years, at the Camp Nou at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. So set your arms nice and early for that one. And in Formula One, Mercedes have continued this season's domination in Baku, with Valtteri Bottas leading home another 1-2 for the team. Their fourth 1-2 finish in 4 races so far this year. Aussie driver Daniel Ricciardo failed to finish after an incident with Daniel Kvyat, which saw him penalised 3 grid spots for 2 weeks' time, the Spanish Grand Prix. So, you're still a Hawthorn supporter, aren't you?
I am. I think so.
Did you get to watch the game at all over the weekend?
I did not. How did it go?
It was a thriller.
Yeah. Carlton won, beat Hawthorn by
Oh
a lot
my
of
gosh.
points.
I think Carlton won in the minds of all the supporters who were there, but they were
At
ahead.
halftime, it was like 50 points ahead.
Yeah.
Or something.
That's
I don't know how it works.
nuts.
It was amazing, yeah. So, unfortunately, they didn't show through, but I think with performances like that, you can expect to see Carlton coming up through the ranks for the rest of the season.
Just wait.
Okay.
You're gonna get,
Whatever. You can have this one.
yeah, you're going to get the wooden spoon. That's what your team's going to get. Wait, is that a different sport?
No, the wooden spoon is in the AFL, that's right.
Yeah, it is.
Nice.
Okay, so-
You
thought it
got
was that
something
horse
right.
racing thing. Yeah.
Well, one thing I had some mad respect for you for was being able to pronounce all those Formula One names.
Oh, I followed Formula One ravishly. So you learn to pronounce all those names pretty easily. Yeah, some of them are very tough though. Spanish names I find in particular because you find out there's all sorts of pronunciations for letters that you had no idea was a thing.
Alejandro Rodriguez Faracte, whatever it is.
Yeah, pretty much. It's good
Yeah.
fun hearing the first-time commentators on the live streams on TV trying to figure it out as well.
Oh, I'd hate to be one of them.
Oh, don't be a hard job. Man.
Yeah,
No,
definitely.
you're really good at it though.
Thank you very much. I try my best.
So, is Formula One like your favorite? Like, which sports following is like your favorite?
Motorsport is my number one at the moment. And like any sort of motorsport. So Formula One, MotoGP, supercars, all those sort of things I'm all about. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great. I love them too. They're really exciting. They're the ones where like someone could crash a car and it's just like the most, whereas in like football you might have a tackle, like crashing a car is like movie spectacular.
It's pretty crazy.
And it's great because of all the safety equipment. They can crash a car like massive, like movie style, and they get out without a scratch.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty crazy. But yeah.
Yeah. Now we're actually moving on to our next segment of this show where we go into celebrity goss.
Our favorite.
Take it away, Bridget.
All you Disney fanatics, listen up. We have already been blessed with iconic Disney movies like The Emperor's New Groove, Big Hero 6, and Frozen. But our Disney World is about to get a lot better. This year you can thank your blessings as we will witness one of the best Disney eras back again. You can look forward to movies such as Toy Story 4, Aladdin, and the fan favourite, The Lion King.
Remember.
I keep having these
We all love our new girl boss, Captain Marvel, but actress Brie Larson is proving she is a girl boss in real life too.
I do all my stunts.
I did my stunts because I thought that that's what everyone did. And
Could
then...
Tom Cruise over here?
No, I want to be the first me, not the next Tom Cruise. Thank you very much.
Is
There's
there
no competition for me because I'm the strongest, so it's just kind of like a different...
Oh, yeah, you should let her think that, but yeah.
It's not. As I've said before, it's not. It's just a fact. It's not a personal opinion. And it's not a reflection on what you can't do, but it is also kind of a reflection on all that you can't do.
It's just that you're just not that strong.
Only Queen Bee can slay Coachella without even being at Coachella. Beyoncé has captivated the world with her homecoming documentary. If you want to boogie and sing along with the Beehive, then head over to Netflix to watch Beyoncé slay. Melbourne is about to get that much cooler. No, not weather silly. Some of the biggest music stars are gracing Melburnians' ears, with Post Malone performing tonight and tomorrow night at Rod Laver Arena, Billie Eilish at Bendigo's Groove in the Moo Festival this weekend and Margaret Court Arena May 3rd, Little Mix at Melbourne Arena July 8th, and Khalid, Rod Laver Arena November 28th.
Young, dumb and boo, young, dumb and broke, young, dumb and boo, young, dumb, boo, guys.
Yeah, we're young, dumb.
That's actually one of my favorite songs. I love that song.
He's such a good
such
singer.
A banger, yeah.
Yeah, he's got such a soulful voice.
Mm-hmm.
Not Post Malone though. just Khalid.
But yeah, we've got Becky here with us today.
Hello.
Welcome,
Nice to
Becky,
see
to
ya.
the
Thank
Studio
you.
of Love. So, Becky, tell us what's been going on around town this week. We want to hear what's on.
Well, this is actually a huge event coming up. So tomorrow the Yuin Boy Festival starts. So it's basically a celebration of First Nation people's culture. And over 11 days there's going to be 100 events. So, and it includes basically everything you can think of. So there's lots of music, of course, and different visual arts, theatre, film, workshops. Yeah, it's a huge event.
So, more specifically, what kind of stuff? Like, so there's 100 things.
Yeah, well, I did pick out a couple I think you guys might like. Tom, of course, there's the Miss First Nations drag pageant.
Oh, there's a drag pageant?
Yes, there's a drag pageant.
Wow,
and so there's quite a few events for it, but the national final's on Friday the 10th.
Right.
And there's two main categories. So there's the talent category and the costume category, that'd be a good one.
Right.
The tickets are free, but you've got to book them. And so that's with most of the events as well. There's lots of free events. But, yeah, the tickets are going to get booked out, so get onto them pretty soon.
Awesome.
And so I think you might like the Freshies Block Party.
Okay, tell me about that.
Yeah, it's got lots of different things going on. It's held in Hosier Lane.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I've been there before. It's freaking amazing. The street art, I don't even know how they do that.
So before the event, it's they're going to have people coming in doing workshops, and so it'll be all redone, all of the street art.
Oh, cool.
And there's going to be fashion parades and a lot of music as well, and markets. I love a market.
Yeah, I love a market.
So that's on Saturday.
Fun, yeah. We'll definitely have to go down to that. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That drag show is mine, girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
And one I want to go to myself is the bush food experience. So it's
Bush
like,
tucker.
yeah, bit of bush tucker. But it's a guided walk followed by a tastings with the native food that was seen during the walk.
Right.
Which would be really good. 'Cause there's so many edible plants around Melbourne. Like, if you're picking them in Melbourne, I'd want to give them a good wash.
Yeah. Well, so you don't know what bush tucker is?
No, I have no idea.
It's basically like eating off the land. So it's what the Indigenous and old colonial Australians would eat.
Okay,
the
interesting.
land.
Cool.
Yeah, there's so much. We don't use it enough, I don't think. Well, I've had trouble getting to try a lot of things. There's a couple of restaurants in Melbourne that do serve stuff with, especially some of the, herbs, the native herbs.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's so many. Like, I would recommend anyone wanting to go try bush tucker, go to the festival and give it a go.
Yeah, well, thanks, Becky, so much for telling us about everything that's going on.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
But it looks like we're
Would
out of
you
tea.
look at that? We are out of time this week. So thank you so much for coming back and watching us this week again.
Make sure to follow social media.
Yep, at The Morning Tea AU. We're so happy to have you back. Please subscribe to our YouTube and follow us on Instagram.
You can just binge watch all of them.
At Smack My Tits. That's my Instagram. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for coming. I'll see you next week.